Lightning were the defending Stanley Cup champions. Anything short of another cup victory would almost certainly be a disappointment.
Tampa Bay's got it in their own zone. Slides the puck over. They score!
Tampa Bay fans didn't want to say it, of course, but they didn't have to. When you've won it all one year, anything short of that the following year, it's a big letdown. The problem is that today's NHL is shaped by the salary cap, which creates a lot of parity across the league.
The Penguins did it in 2016 and 2017, and the Detroit Red Wings matched that feat back in 1997 and 98.
But those are the only two teams to have won back-to-back consecutive Stanley Cups in the last 25 years. And even more daunting was the news that Tampa Bay received on December 23, 2020, just weeks before the start of the delayed season. Recovering from major surgery of this type isn't an exact science. Would Kucherov even be ready in time to start the playoffs? There's no doubt that the idea of winning back-to-back Stanley Cups would prove very daunting, and even more so without Kucherov in the lineup. But then the season started. Tampa Bay would begin with consecutive back-to-back games against Chicago. The Blackhawks weren't expected to be one of the league's dominant teams this season, but when Tampa Bay opened with 5-1 and 5-2 victories, it certainly made a statement.
By late March, the Lightning were tied for first overall in the league, and they were looking just as dominant as they've ever have, even without Nikita Kucherov in the lineup.
The Lightning had just defeated the Stars a couple of days before, and there was no reason to think that this game would be any different.
And by the midpoint in the game, the Lightning were looking as strong as ever, being up 2-0 against Dallas. Uncharacteristically, goaltender Andrej Vasilevskiy then let in 3 quick goals in succession late in the second period. That let Dallas back into the game, and Dallas went on to win with a goal late in the third period. Tampa Bay went from looking almost invincible to suddenly being very mortal indeed.
As had been predicted by the Tampa Bay medical staff at the start of the season, Nikita Kucherov was indeed announced as being ready in time to start for the playoffs. Tampa Bay's downward slide at the end of the season did cost them in one respect. They lost home ice advantage even in the first round of the playoffs, in which they would face their rival Florida Panthers. Florida pushed Tampa Bay to 6 games. In the end, the Lightning emerged victorious in the Battle of Florida. Fair warning for the rest of the teams remaining in the playoffs: the Lightning is back. This was a Cinderella story on the shoulders of some seasoned veterans working alongside some talented young players. Canadians did their best to keep up with Tampa Bay. The Lightning were moving the puck with incredible accuracy, and they could afford to take their time to set up the best plays. It was an incredible display of hockey skill. Tampa Bay's season had appeared to be unraveling, but they returned to full form the moment that Nikita Kucherov stepped back on the ice. How do you define that term? I think in general you need to win at least 3 championships in a row before you can begin to talk about dynasty. The task won't be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but the Lightning is a strong team. They're keeping most of their core players, and most of their players are young enough to still be in top form.
So don't rule out the chance of a three-peat.
And if Tampa Bay finds a way to make that happen, this Lightning team will most certainly go down as one of the most iconic sports franchises in history.